asleep in the boat, commanding the waves. Asleep in the boat, upholding all things by the word of his power. I mean, I don't understand that. But I accept it as a mystery of the reality that he was truly God and truly man. And it's interesting that he took on flesh. So you could say in the incarnation, true human flesh was added to a pre-existent God the Son. I hope I'm not making a heresy in that statement. Good. On the spot theology of the union in the sonship of Christ is probably easy to get wrong. Because if you go back to the early church, they investigated and debated intensely the fine distinctions and worked it all out in one church council after another, examining the scriptures and debating over the breadth of the scriptures. And I'm very grateful for that, because they ended up with these statements which crystallize sound biblical theology right back in the early church. Those are arguments that have been well trodden. Thank you. Good question. All right. Anything else? We've got so many pastors in the room. Christian, Andresen, Keith Essex. You can ask me anything. I just pass it on to these guys. Adam Waller. Let me open it up to the pastors who heard the sermon. Maybe you want to add a comment of your own, or something I missed that you just felt, okay, that would really complement it. I know I often feel like that in the pew, and I won't be insulted at all if you just want to add something or make a comment that you felt would strengthen the message. That would be helpful to me and to everyone, I'm sure. I've either bored you silly or left you speechless. All right? You want to contradict something? It's quite nerve-wracking preaching in front of your elders and betters. Okay, one last question maybe? Anyone? Or are we done? We want to go home and digest? All right, well, those questions will be here Wednesday night to discuss this morning's sermon. If you missed it, it was about hospitality. Pardon me, it touched on the issues of refugees and how we as Christians ought to be responding to other people's needs. The love of strangers, wonderful concept, clearly taught in the Bible, that we should have and should express that love of hospitality to people who are different from us. I know I've exhorted you before and challenged you to say, are you reaching out to people who are different from you, transgenerationally, cross-culturally? But we were challenged this morning, and it'll be a good discussion on Wednesday night, I'm sure. And we'll discuss this some more. So if you have questions, feel free to text them in, bring them in Wednesday night at 7:30. But beyond that, pray for us tomorrow as we meet to discuss the training center that we're hoping to launch this September. But otherwise, God bless you. You're dismissed, and I hope to see you next week.